Join me today for another installment of Tales and Collecting. This will be the third episode dealing with buying Lego sets. Today, specifically, if you're buying them with the intent to resell. Welcome back to the Geek Ball channel. My name is Bob, and today we're going to be talking about some of the tips and topics on buying Lego sets with intent to resell. Now, just to be crystal clear up front, I am not a financial advisor, retirement planner, anything at all like that. So, none of what I'm about to say should be construed as actual financial advice. These are things that have worked for me in the past, and what I personally believe will work in the future, but obviously I can't prove that until after the fact. So it is up to you to do your own due diligence. Don't take what I'm going to say as some gospel as to how things will pan out, because I am not making that claim. So I just want to be crystal clear on that before we start, because I don't want someone, oh, I bought what you said to buy. I'm not going to tell you to buy anything. I'll tell you what I bought in the past that has worked for me. And as usual with all all things financial, past performance is no indication of future performance. So, crystal clear, do your own due diligence, and here we go. So, at its core, buying and selling anything does involve a like Econ 101 kind of principle, and that is buy low, sell high. Now, it's up to you how you define low and high in this equation, but if your intent is to buy for profit, you have to sell it at a higher price than what you bought it for. So I feel like I can give that as actual advice, because that is like law of economics kind of stuff. So towards that end, the first thing that I have looked for in the past is, can I buy it for below retail? Because that will increase the chances that I will be able to sell it at a profit later on. Because it has been my experience, which again is no indication this will continue in the future, but it has been my experience that Lego sets do not lose value. Now, they may never increase above their retail value, and at the onset, while they're available at retail, you can probably easily find them for a little bit below here and there. But generally speaking, in my experience, after they're off the store shelves for a while, they all level out at least their retail value. There's a handful of exceptions, I believe, but those were things like sets that were just super unpopular, and there's a reason why they hit like 75% off at places. So, barring things like that, you would, in the interest of buying low and selling high, you would want to find them on sale. Now, at this particular moment in time, 25% off is probably good. Just depends on the set and a bunch of other variables I'm going to get into, because that is below retail. And we're not presently in the era of massive deep cuts like we have been in the past. There used to be at Toys R Us, there would be a couple times a year where they would have a sale as like buy two, get one free. Now, buy two, get one free, if you buy three sets of the same price, means you're getting those three sets at 33% off. Okay? Because you're paying full price for two of them, but you're paying nothing for one of them. So let's say they're $100 sets. So you're going to pay $200 for $300 worth of sets. So 33% off. Now you can look at that as either you've bought three sets at 33% off and you're going to try to sell them. So you're already starting, if you can get retail for them, you're going to make up that 33%. Now, if it's a mix of keeping and selling, now there you're going to run into, say you keep the two. Say you keep two of them and you sell the third one. Okay, so you paid retail price for two of them, and then whatever you get for the third one, you could consider profit. Now, that's a funny way of looking at things. I personally wouldn't. I would look at them as I paid 66% of their retail value, and so I got two of them for 33% off, and I'm selling one, hopefully at a profit for that one set. But that does kind of get into another related topic, which is the concept of you need to understand that there's a difference between a percent off sale or dollar amount off or whatever versus they're going to give you a gift card for a set amount of money. Okay? And this is something like Target, for instance, likes to do. Now, there, if it's you spend $50, you get a $10 gift card, okay, you can spend the other $10 on other Lego sets if you want to, or whatever else. You are getting $10 in free something. Not free, you paid $50 for it, but in addition to what you're paying the $50 for, versus $10 off a $50 purchase. Now, in the former, you are still paying $50 out of pocket. Yeah, you've got that $10 gift card that you can spend on something else, but the Lego sets cost you $50. So you had to have $50, in this equation. Versus you got those two sets for $10 off. It only cost you $40 out of pocket. Yeah, you didn't get the $10 gift card, but you also only spent $40. Those two are not the same thing. One of them you're spending $40, the other one you're spending $50. You're getting something else, but you're still spending $50 out of pocket. And it's a very crucial concept because stores really, really hope that you conflate the two and think they're the same thing. They're not. Okay? The store would rather you spend full price and give you the $10 gift card because they're going to make more than just giving you a discount because the discount cuts into their bottom line. The gift card, okay, whatever. You still paid the full price for the other two things. Or one thing or whatever. However you got your $50. So that's important to understand that those two are not the same thing. Now, Toys R Us is now presently a thing of the past here in the United States, so buy two, get one free sales, don't really happen anymore. You do occasionally see buy one, get one half off. Now, that's essentially, going back to our previous analogy, you're getting two sets at 25% off if they're the same price, which that is the way you maximize that discount. Either get two of the same set, because if you think it's worth selling, two of them are worth selling, probably. So buy two of the same set, you're getting the full discount. Because if one's more than the other, it's 50 cents, it's 50% off the cheaper one. So let's say you buy a $100 set and an $80 set. Well, the $80 set's going to cost you $40. So for $140, you got $180 worth of Lego sets. Versus two of them that are worth $100, one of them's going to be $50. So for $150, $10 more, you're getting $200 worth of Lego sets, $20 more in value, in retail value. So maximize the discount. Don't be, a chump. Like if you're going to, again, let's say it's Target. Do separate transactions if you've got like a bunch of sets that are different prices. If you think there's a bunch that are worth buying at that price. And that's what you do, It's your money, try to maximize it as much as possible. Now, there are some sets that you cannot do that with because the only place to get them is through Lego themselves. And there's less of these sets now because Target and Walmart and Amazon have started carrying some of the exclusive sets. And so it's possible that you will find one of these on sale there. Unlikely, but possible. However, if you buy them through the Lego website, then you're getting the bonus point. You're getting points because you should be signed up to the Lego Rewards Club, which you can then convert into dollars off down the road, which again, remember, that's off a future purchase. Right now, you're paying whatever it is you're paying. The ultimate timing is if you can somehow get it to where you're getting bonus points, like two, usually double. Although they had a sale here over the Black Friday sale that it was quadruple points on one set. And normally it's 5% back. So if it's quadruple points, you're getting 20% back. And if you can somehow stack that with something like Rakuten, where you're also getting money back there, which by the way, you should do that at every opportunity. So let's say it was back at the Target sale, and it's buy one get one half off, buy one get one half off. Well, definitely also activate Rakuten, even if you're only getting 1% cash back. Say you buy $200 sets to be $150, $1.50. Sure, it's not much, but it's not nothing. So, and it's not costing you anything. So you should of course do it. And if you buy it through Target, you also get points for their system, I think. So that's another point entirely, but definitely maximize all the points and rebates and anything at all like that you can. That's the overarching point here. So back to the Lego site, the Lego.com. There, what you want to try to do is get double points if you can, catch it on sale if you can, which sales are kind of rare, so I wouldn't count on that. And also, you want to try to get it so that you get free things, because every month they have free sets that if you spend a certain amount of money, you get one. If you spend another certain amount of money, you get both or all three or whatever. So if you can maximize and hit all of those things at once, which on some of their sales you can, then that's the route you would want to go to maximize your effect. Because you're probably paying retail. You might get it on some kind of sale, but you're probably going to pay retail. But you're going to get the points, which you can use later on for a future purchase. But you're also going to get free sets, which you can then just turn around and sell them. And then at that point, the one way to look at it is everything you make for selling them is profit. I have definitely done that. Now, these are massive outliers. Before I use this example, but there was a Darth Revan figure that was only available for one weekend and sold out, never re-released, never nothing. I sold it for $300. Now, that is a very outlier number, okay? You need to dial in your expectations, but those it's not a black swan moment, but it's something like that. I can't think of what the term is. Black swan moment's a major apocalyptic kind of thing that comes out of nowhere. It's the opposite of that. A boon of massive proportions that comes out of nowhere. And unfortunately, I don't know the word for that. So on we go. If you know, please let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know down in the comments if you like these videos. And if you haven't done so, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We appreciate it all. And definitely check out the other two videos. And after, there will be one more video in the series, but it's going to be kind of a how-to video, and I'll explain that here as we go along. So, you want to maximize everything you can get with these, or discounts, or anything. Be on the lookout. Don't just walk into Walmart and be like, "Hey, I think," and just pay for retail right off the bat. Do not do that. This is advice I can definitely give you. Do not do that. Research. Look around, you know the places that sell these things, which in the U.S. is Walmart and Walmart.com, Target.com, the Lego site itself, Amazon. Those are the big ones. Now I'm sure there are other sites that sell them. I know Best Buy sells Lego sets. I don't know what their frequency of sales and how good they are, but I know that they do sell them, both online and in store. And I believe they've got their own rewards membership. And any store you're shopping at, if they've got a rewards thing, you need to be signing up for it if it's free. If it costs anything, do the cost analysis on your own and figure out if it's worthwhile. But if it's free, you should be signing up, because it's just free whatever, So that's the more the financial things you want to look out for. So the other bit of advice is, or I should say, again, it's not necessarily advice. This is what's worked for me, as I stated up front. So in the past, what I have looked for are sets with unique figures that have some kind of appeal. Because unique figures by themselves aren't enough. There's got to be an appeal to them somehow. And not just to you. You got to be dispassionate about this. Presumably you're buying these because you like Lego sets, but maybe you're not. But you have to be able to look dispassionately. You could be the biggest fan ever of I don't know, the Chima sets. Okay. And I think they did okay. And some of them probably have some value on the secondary market. But by and large, it didn't last super long. Definitely didn't last anywhere near as long as Ninjago's lasted. It was a brand that Lego cooked up on their own. It did last more than one wave. So it had its fans. But not like super high sellers on the secondary market. I like the sets because of the crazy figures, but other people apparently don't. So you got to be able to look past your own interests. What does everyone else want? You're going to be selling these, okay? So you're not buying them to keep them. Although golden rule here, accept that you might not be able to sell any of these sets, or if you do, it's going to be at a loss potentially. But accept that you might be stuck with them. So you need to embrace that possibility, and you have a plan in case you do. Which that might be sell them at a loss, or might be keep them and actually build with them. So I know that kind of conflicts with look past your interest, but if it overlaps with your interest, you're golden. If it doesn't, well, have a plan. Is what I'm saying. So Star Wars, by and large, those sets increase in value over time. There's exceptions, and that's where you need to do your homework. And I can tell you part of it is things that are repetitive. Now they make TIE fighters and X-wings constantly because they're popular, but because they make them constantly and they make them differently each time, some are considered better than others. Like the current TIE fighter, in my opinion, is too small. The wings are too small, and I've seen this thing at a very steep discount. It's a $45 set. I saw it for $25 the other day. Should have bought one so I could show you guys in comparison, but I didn't. That's my fault. If I see it cheap like that again, I'm going to buy it. The ones I have are a little bit older, but the wings are significantly larger. The last couple have actually had small wings, so it's a design thing, but they don't look accurate to the movie, so they're gonna be less popular. Um, sets that have hard to come by figures, like there's a clone battle tank for the Clone Wars that has a Mace Windu figure. It's been a while since there's been a set with a Mace Windu figure. Also has clones from his particular battalion. Don't remember what the number is. So they've got the purple accents because Mace Windu. Those are the first set those guys have been in. So that's the kind of set that down the road I would think would have some value. I could be wrong on that. I haven't sunk any money into it. I'm recommending you do. That's one you might want to look at, do your own analysis. But from my perspective, there are bits of that I think could have value, and I explain my thought process. It might be one that you strip out the figures and keep the tank or something, which is something you're going to encounter. Some sets, if you get them cheap enough, you can just take the figures out and sell them and make back your money or a profit. And you'll still have the blocks if you want them. Or then you sell then you sell the rest of it without the figures. Sometimes that's worth more than just selling the set. Usually not. Usually it's better off just to sell the set. Also, kind of on that vein of thought, if you're not going to part them out, do not open them. They're worth, generally speaking, they're worth more in a sealed, unopened condition with the box no more than light shelfware. So that's the thing. If you go to the store and one of them's kind of busted open, I'd steer away from it. I mean, on principle, I'd steer away from it because you don't know if anything's missing. But other buyers are not going to want it either. So that's what you have to part it out. So if it's at a steep discount and you think maybe the parts are still there, maybe. It's up to you. I've taken that gamble before. Usually it pans out for me, but you know, you are taking a gamble. So, like I said, Star Wars, by and large, a lot of stuff there. Star Wars has a lot of one-offs because they'll make something for a video game and they won't make any other sets for it. They only made that one. Doesn't last long. 5 years down the road, the game's still popular. People are like, man, I wish I would have bought that set. Now all of a sudden it's worth 10 times a massive exaggeration, 3 or 4 times what retail was. That's not terribly uncommon. So you gotta look for things like that. So exclusivity is a big factor. Is it only available to certain store chain? That means it's not available to others. So there will be less of them. Now, Walmart is a massive store chain. So just because it's exclusive to Walmart, yes, there are less of them. And, the whole less of them should translate to higher value in most normal settings. Uh, but doesn't always, because again, Walmart's a big chain. There's a lot of them. There are fewer targets. So it'd be more exclusive if it's a Target exclusive. And way more exclusive if it's a Lego exclusive, because they don't have very many stores, and it's there or online, or it's reseller on Amazon or eBay. So those you got to look for. Like I've got a Toys R Us exclusive truck that's a variant of a regular set, but this one's blue and white and has a Toys R Us logo on it. Worth some astronomical amount of money just because of that. I should probably sell it someday. But since Toys R Us is out of business, it's kind of nice to have a piece of it still around. I'm sentimental like that. Sorry. Um, so exclusivity. This can also apply to like the packaging. Like there are some 2-in-1 and 3-in-1 sets presently available at Walmart. So even though the sets in them are just sets that were sold on the shelves, one, they're cheaper than the collective sets would have been, but also packaged like that, that's an exclusive type of packaging. There are people that care about those things. Those could be worth more down the road. I've got to decide if I'm going to sink money into it. I have one, but that one was like, if I get stuck with it, oh well, because it was two $20 sets and a polybag set, which they were in about $5. So $45 worth of stuff in a $20 package. And you can't pass that up, even if it's only worth the $45 those three sets are worth. You know, that's doubling my money plus another $5. So exclusivity. You need to know what else is popular. Like Ninjago has been going for a long time, so you would think popular, and it is popular. But one thing you have to worry about with Ninjago, kind of like some of the sets in Star Wars, is there's a lot of recycling. All the same concepts keep popping up. Now, it does mean that they're popular. So if you can get like a definitive version, that has a better chance at being worth more down the road. Like with the TIE Fighter uh, scenario that I outlined earlier. But then you also have, like with Star Wars, you also run it, like I mentioned, exclusivity, not just from the store, but also like at the moment, there's a TIE Bomber on the market. It's been 10 years since Lego made a TIE Bomber set, even though that should be a staple set, or at least there should have been a couple of them right now. And the TIE Bomber, the other one, is the only other one. So it's not like the TIE Fighter, where there's at least 5 different versions I can think of off the top of my head. And then the same thing with the TIE Interceptor. It has one older version, and then a new one is presently in a 2-pack. So not a 2-pack, there's 2 vehicles in it instead of just the TIE Interceptor by itself. And then there was a different colored one that was available 2 years ago. I don't think it was quite as popular. So again, it's the only other one that is how it should be. And it's been 10 years since they made the last one. For Rebel fighters, I think there's only 2 B-Wings. There might be 3. The A-Wing is kind of uncommon, but the X-Wing and then the Y-Wing are fairly popular. So you have to look at it as, what does this version have that past versions don't? And can I get it on sale? Does it have more new figures? It all comes together. It's far more art than science. So anyway, those are things you got to look at. I can tell you that City doesn't seem to, most city sets don't seem to really skyrocket in price after they're done. Some of them do go up, but usually it's because they're in another sub theme of City. Like the Arctic sets, for some reason, are a sub theme of City. And they're the last batch, not the current batch, but the last batch. You ran into something you see sometimes. You had the whole Arctic wave of sets were available, but one set was a Target exclusive set, and it was costly to begin with. So, and it has only gone up in value since then. because you had to go to a Target or buy from Lego because Lego sells the exclusives because they make them. And it was an expensive set. So, and Target doesn't really clearance Lego sets. So you had this trifecta, and it's part of another batch. And it was a desirable thing. It was like all the Arctic sets are Arctic Explorers. This was a big cargo plane. So, and none of the other sets were like that. They had a ship and a base and some trucks and things like that. But you didn't have a cargo plane. So it's a piece that people would want to complete it. It was hard to get, and it was expensive. This is like, these are key factors that can all play into probably going to be worth money later, real money later on. And you can look back at a lot of the exclusives; they've definitely increased in value, and that comes down to they were expensive to begin with. So Lego didn't make tons of them because they knew they weren't going to sell tons of them. People didn't buy tons of them because they were expensive. So now, if you want to buy one, you've got to get someone to come off of it who already paid a lot of money for it. And so, it's a compounding thing at that point. Usually, there's some exceptions, and I've definitely bought some lemons on that front, thinking, "Oh man, it's on sale." And it never occurred to me, why is it on sale though? Why do they still have them left? Why do they still have inventory? So that's kind of the gamble you run into with things being on sale. Also, the other gamble being, will it last to a steeper discount? The answer, which is usually no, by the way, but occasionally it's the yes. So you are gambling there. But anyway, that's a lot of the factors you really want to look at. So, like I said, it's far more art than science. But these are all a lot of the contributing factors. Then you just get random things sometimes that just you don't even know why. There's a handful of Star Wars sets that we didn't know at the time were very limited print run because they were for the Battlefront, not the original Battlefront, but the newer version that was on the Xbox 3, Xbox One. And there was a couple. They were just like troop builder sets, but they just like came and went. They were not at retail for anywhere near the normal length of time, which is like 18 months. These were at retail for like 4 months, and a lot of places I think just got like the initial shipment, and then that was it. So, and you don't know that until they're gone, unless you got a time machine, like you're not going to get them back. But that's a very rare scenario. Okay. Just want to be clear on that. I can't think of many others where that happened. So, like I mentioned in the other video about when to buy them, the best discounts to do at the moment seem to be like in the Black Friday, anywhere between, like this year, Lego put them on sale, put some sets on sale a weekend before Black Friday, a weekend before Thanksgiving, then Black Friday, then Cyber Monday, and you might see something else between now and Christmas. I'm recording this December 1st, by the way, even though it's going to be up probably the 5th or 6th. So, you run into that. Like for instance, I saw the list of sets that was going to be on sale. I didn't see one of the sets I was after, plus I didn't really have the money to go after it. But I found out that the giant $400 castle set that I'd really kind of like was on sale 25% off for $300. Now, from a purely percentage standpoint, 25% off, that's $100 off. There's a difference between $300 and $400. So, I mean, I still hate spending that much on a Lego set, especially because I was going to buy it to open it, to build the castle. But the fact they put it on sale once tells me they're probably going to again at some point. So I just need to stand by and be ready. Still not there yet. Hoping to get there. But anyway, those are some things to consider. Um, One of the other things to look at is trains. They seem to go up in value, but there's going to be something to them. So then the only other bit of advice I have is if you are going to engage in this, there's plenty of places to sell. People sell on eBay. I think it's Hari, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, whatever. But to me, you want to sell on Bricklink. It's far lower cost than eBay. It's a dedicated site for selling Lego sets. You control everything about it. And unlike eBay, there's not the expectation that you're going to pay for the shipping. Like, you send people invoices, like they know they're paying the shipping. Uh, things like that. People know about Bricklink more and more because people keep writing news articles about it. And also, if you're going to be selling individual parts and everything, Bricklink's way easier. But overall, just you should use Bricklink. You should not use eBay. eBay, you're not going to get that much more, but you're going to end up paying, by the time all your fees and everything are done, you're probably looking at, I think it's 13% versus, I want to say it's 2 or 3% on Bricklink. Could be wrong on that, but it's pretty low. Uh, and you're not often offer free shipping, you know? So people are going to pay for shipping. And Lego sets, by and large, are not cheap to ship. Facebook Marketplace, I finally had a successful sale on there of a Lego train set, so it can be done. Just be wary of the scams on there. I've never ever used Macari, so I don't know about it. And Craigslist, it's very hit and miss. My only successful transaction on there was buying Lego sets, so worked out there. But yeah, that's my tips for all that. I guess the only other one would be, if you're really going to go into it, you might want to keep an eye out for like bulk lots on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, especially if they appear to have complete sets in them somewhere and not just the bricks. You can sell the bricks by the pound, but you're not going to make anywhere near what you think you're going to. So you want the sets are where the money is for the most part. Um, yeah, you make more. Yeah, I think I can generally say you'll make more for the sets than just the bricks. But yeah, that's most of that. The other video that I'm going to hopefully make at some point in the near future is going to show how to actually navigate Bricklink, because there are parts of it that took me a while to figure out. Definitely take a newbie a while to figure out. So we'll do that sometime in the near future, hopefully. But again, let me know what you guys thought of this video down there in the comments. All the other YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe, that's all great. And if you happen to be listening to this someplace else, because we're talking about putting the podcast out there and there's nothing really visual to this video, so it's probably going to also go on the podcast list. Let me know what you think there. If you have any capacity to do so, subscribe if you feel like it. But just want to thank everyone for listening. And given what we're heading into here, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and or whatever holiday of your denomination you're going into, and hope you had a happy Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving or whatever you did. But otherwise, just keep on bricking, clicking. I don't know. We'll figure something out for that. But see you folks later.